Okay, this section is going to be the longest chat in the chats for May, but I can guarantee it's worth your time. I'm going to be making two announcements that will impact our school for next year. I'm very excited to announce these. I am going to leave you hanging for a minute because there's a backstory to the announcements. So the federal government last year did pass two relief packages for our country related to COVID. We all know this. There was one last summer and there was one around Christmas time. The summer relief package included money to help schools across the country open safely. I don't have the exact amount of money that was passed within that bill, but we received about $400 from that package. So that was not enough money for us to do much with in regards to a safe school opening. We had a great, solid, tightly woven plan, so we were good to go. We used that money for things like hand sanitizer and soap and gloves and masks and things like that. The second package that was passed in December was very significant. So within that package, there was about $2.75 billion that the federal government set aside exclusively for non-public schools. The July bill was just sort of schools, and the money was funneled through the public school. This goes directly to private schools. The relief funding is called Emergency Aid for Non-Public Schools. It's shortened with the acronym EANS. You may be seeing more about this in the news. So of that large pot of money, Wisconsin received $77 million. Now, the process in which this money is being divvied out to the non-public schools is at the state level. Wisconsin has made the decision that non-public schools have to submit an application for this money. They are deciding how much money is given to the non-public school based on really two criteria. The first is the number of low-income students you have at your school. And then the second is based on the significance of the learning loss at your school and tracking that back to COVID. So Kim Althaus was instrumental in this process. She completed the application. I dug into the data. I shared some of that data with you in March to show that we did have learning loss that we can track. We used our MAP data to go back to about 2 or 3 years and comparing that to this fall. The most significant area, if you remember from my chat in March, was math was where we had the most significant learning loss. Our learning loss isn't very significant, I guess, when you look at other schools, but we definitely could show that this year students performed below where they normally perform at their grade level in the fall. So we submitted that application, kind of held our breath, and we just received notice that we were accepted. Now, the amount of money we receive, we don't have a specific number. We have a ballpark figure, and that's because the states at the time didn't know how many non-public schools would apply for that pot of money. If we were the only school in the state to apply, we'd get $77 million, and wouldn't that be lovely? But we know we're not. So once the applications are gone through and they're all approved, then the state will look at that 77 million, look at the schools, and divvy it out. We know that we have enough to cover this new position that I am going to be sharing with you for the next couple of years. So we know that as a bare minimum. Now, the goal of the money, you have to use the money to improve programming at your school to help student achievement increase. So a portion of the money that we get is going to be to create this new position. We'll also have some additional funds, we believe, that we can invest in. Maybe it's curriculums, maybe it's technology. So we haven't allocated that money yet because, again, we're waiting for a final number. I am excited to announce that we will be creating the position of instructional coach at Lumen Christi. It's a position that I have dreamed of having at our school for the last 3 years specifically. I've tried to get it into the budget every year and it gets cut because we don't have the operating budget to support that position and that salary. This is exciting that this federal money is allowing us that opportunity. Now, what's an instructional coach? You might be wondering. Well, an instructional coach wears many hats. Their primary focus is to improve the instruction at your school. They work directly with the teachers. They work in the classrooms with the teachers to help improve their teaching practice. Now, from a school that's a growth mindset, we all recognize that we have areas to improve upon. So even some of our most dynamic teachers still have something to work on and grow within their practice. Studies will show, multiple studies over the course of many, many years, continue to show that the greatest impact to your child's education, it's not whether we're using a certain curriculum, it's not whether we have awesome technology or a brand new building. The biggest indicator of student achievement is your child's teacher. So we know that to improve achievement, we need to invest in our teachers. This role will do that. The instructional coach will not only work with teachers to improve their practice, they'll do some analysis of our curriculums. They will be right in the classroom, so that instructional coach will see whether that teacher is teaching with the best practices for a specific subject area, for a specific curriculum. They can identify whether there's gaps or holes in the instruction, making sure that there's a continuation of learning. So from first grade to second grade to third grade, we have this beautiful continuation of instruction happening for our kids. I'm very excited to announce that I am promoting our second grade teacher, Sarah Schreiber, to the position of instructional coach. Sarah has been with us for many years. She has demonstrated her ability to coach teachers. She has been a teacher mentor. Most recently, she mentored Keely Bjork. Keely was her student teacher, and she worked with Mrs. Schreiber to become ready for the field of having her own classroom. Sarah provides high quality feedback. She knows what high quality instruction looks like, and she's able to identify areas that need improvement within teachers. She's courageous. She's willing and able to give constructive feedback and have those difficult conversations that sometimes need to happen. I am proud of her growth over the course of her tenure at Lumen Christi and excited to see her step into this new position. This means we have a second grade opening at Lumen Christi. That position was posted on our weekend site as well as the Archdiocese site last week, Thursday. We've already received some applications. We'll begin the formal hiring process for that position as well as other open positions in our school in the second week of May. I am hoping to have all the hiring done by June, so I can announce to you who our new teachers will be within our building. So join me in welcoming and congratulating Sarah Schreiber to the role of instructional coach. And I am so excited for this opportunity to invest back into our greatest resource, which we know are our teachers.